Okay, welcome back to Branding Momentum Podcast. I'm Veronica DePaul, and today we're going to dive into the dark side of lead generation. Because buckle up, we're going to talk about how to uncover the mistakes that could be costing you big time in your business. So get ready to find out what's sinking your ship and how to fix it. Let's dive in. Hey, I'm Veronica De Polo, and with more than 15 years being in marketing strategies, are you ready for actionable bite-sized episodes about business advice on marketing, branding, and messaging to take your business to the next level? If you're a service business owner, we'll show you how to attract qualified leads on social media and beyond. We'll reveal the art of showcasing your brand effectively and will uncover the best strategies to hook your audience so they keep coming for more. Say goodbye to outdated marketing strategies and embrace the power of change. Welcome to the Branding Momentum Podcast. All right, let's get real for a moment. We need to get into the topic. Lead generation is the fuel of your service-based business, right? And without, a steady stream of leads, your business can't grow. And worse, it can actually decline or even collapse that business. And I know you're juggling a million things, and it's easy to actually overlook those critical aspects. But today we're going to, highlight the common lead generation mistakes and how to fix them so that you can actually stop shooting yourself in the foot and start seeing real results. So mistake number one, I would say, is ignoring digital marketing channels. And I know that word of mouth and, traditional marketing feels safe and comfortable and familiar. But let's face it, if you're not actually online, you're invisible to a massive audience. And if you've been listening to me for the longest time, you know that I talk a lot about visibility. So it's being invisible and you want to be visible. And by neglecting, this digital marketing tools that are and strategies that are happening, you are missing out on a vast pool of potential leads. Like a lot of people say, you are leaving money on the table, who are, those people that are actually searching for your services just like yours, but they can't actually find you. So how can you actually fix this, right? You can actually diversify your marketing efforts. You can develop a freebie that is so powerful that people want to get their hands on it. But it's not like you're looking for freebie seekers. No, this is something that is out of this world, out of the chain. So you can actually do a lot more social media consistently. That can also actually change. Optimize your website for search engines, because if you come up and you have it optimized from your images or everything that you're doing, that can also help you. But also you can actually start an email marketing campaign. You see, as all these are digital marketing tools. Okay, now let me give you a small example. I have a client, Jane, and she's a fashion consultant who actually not only relied on referrals into her business, and when she finally embraced the Instagram and the email marketing, her client list doubled in just 3 months. So I want you to think about this. What are the kind of things that maybe you're not doing and you are simply stuck in the past doing certain things that you can actually move the needle forward? Okay. So mistake number 2 would be a lack of a clear call to action, a CTA, right? And I know the dreaded lack of clear action. Imagine you've crafted the perfect post, but then crickets. Why? Because most of your audience doesn't even know what to do next when they see a post. And without a strong call to action, you are losing and you're missing out on potential clients who are ready to engage but don't know how. Not even post, even stories. If you don't have a clear call to action to a story, how can people actually engage with you or reply to you, right? So, one of the ways that you can actually fix this is to make sure that every piece of content has a compelling, clear call to action, like a guide for your audience. Or, you tell them what you exactly want them to do and how to do it next. One of the great ways that you can actually do this right now is through a tool called ManyChat. ManyChat can actually trigger those call to actions, can follow up on Instagram or even on Facebook, on Messenger. So they work with a lot of social media. So these are things that you can actually implement in your business, the free version or the paid version. And let me give you an example. Before, you could say, check out our services. But if you fix it a little bit, you can say something like, ready to get value for your money? Book a free consultation and let's work together. That is more than clear. That is clear cut, and you're telling them exactly what you want them to do. If they don't take the offer, that's fine. You'll do it again, and you'll do it again, and you'll do it again, right? Okay. So mistake number 3, it's not following up on leads. I know so many people that actually do this mistake. And this is really a big one, because not following up on your leads, it's like you brushed your teeth, but you forgot to clean your face. How many times have you let a potential client slip through the cracks because you didn't follow up? And actually, the consequence of not doing this is, they lose that interest at the beginning when they met you and they knew you. And if you don't keep yourself top of mind with those leads, then it goes cold, and that could be an actual missed opportunity for you and your business. So one of the ways that you can actually try and fix this in the future, or right now actually in the present, is that you can develop a strategy how to follow up. You can actually create emails that are personalized. You create messages, or you schedule calls to know that you have to do that. You use automation tools to stay consistent without the extra effort. So I would say create like a follow-up sequence that starts with a thank you email. Like, I'm so glad I met you. Here's my information. Maybe you follow up on another email with a tip or a resource that you have. And then you check in again the messages, or even ask them to simply reply to that email. And that is just as simple as that. Mistake number 4 is going to be overlooking the importance of a website optimization. And I know many of you do neglect your website. And I'm not saying that you have to change the whole design. A lot of people get caught up in design and they give it to these companies and they take months designing these websites. And I am talking about what is behind the website, but also what's the messaging on the website. So if you don't actually tweak these little words of how people actually search for your services, people can't find you as well. And having a poor optimized website can actually put off potential leads, because maybe you haven't touched it in months or years. I know a lot of you haven't touched it for years. And then, that maybe it's not, the bouncing rate is not consistent and it gets a very low conversion. So one of the ways that you can actually fix this is to optimize the speed of your website. How do you optimize the speed of your website? Your images have to be super light. Not only that, you have to make it mobile compatibility, right? Friendly. So everything can be seen and touched and done through a mobile, because that is the way people are on social. Then they go to your website. That's how we search, right? Okay. And then you need to have a clear navigation that actually loads fast, because people don't have the patience to wait when a website is not loading. And also, which is one of the most important things that people actually neglect, is that the strong heading that you get from the moment they go into your website should actually explain how you help your potential clients. That is where they will say, this person is for me, this person is not for me. Okay? And mistake number 5 is going to be not personalizing your outreach. And, generic messages, and like I said, is the kiss of death in lead generation. If you're not personalizing everything that you're doing, you're blending in the background. And one of the problems or the consequences that this could, hurt your business is you will get low engagement and it'll actually low interest from your potential clients, who feel like, just another number, like their walking is like a bag of money and you're trying to, sell them something all the time. So the way to actually do this is to use personalization techniques in your marketing. If you don't have an email service provider that can actually help you send out emails with the person's name, then you need to get it. You need to mention their name. You need to reference their specific needs. You show them how you've done, that you've actually done your homework, and you know where they're at, and you know how you can help them move forward. So one example I would give you is like in a simple email, if you're pitching to somebody, instead of saying, hey there, interested in blah, 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 our services, why not try something like, hey, I don't know, Mary, I noticed that you've been, searching for a podcast guest, and here's how I can help you. And then you can come in and do your pitch. Okay, so there you have it, guys. Top lead generation mistakes and how to actually fix them. Remember, avoiding these little issues can actually make huge difference in growing your client base and keeping your business thriving. Now, before we wrap up, don't forget to subscribe and leave a review. And if you want to share this episode with a fellow business owner or a friend that actually can use some of this little, lead generation magic, please go ahead and do that. We'll love to, see them and repost it ourselves. And if they have any questions, of course, send them our way. So I'm going to catch you next time, and I hope to see you very soon. Bye.